few weeks ago I did this, then I did this, and now I'm moving on to this wall. I am starting my banquette seating build. Now, if you're wondering why only half of my wall is finished with the timber paneling, well, remember when Will came over and he taught me how to use a chainsaw? And then we went to the hardware store and picked up all the materials I needed for this entire room so I could finish it. Well, I didn't buy all the materials that I needed to finish this room. There's also this wall, but let's ignore this for now. This is the unfinished wall that has all the crap pushed against it. Oh, and that's the mattress I'm going to be using for the banquette seating. I will cut it up into pieces. Let's commence the banquette seating endeavor. Despite my slight lack of materials, I'm hoping to finish renovating this room quite soon. I've been living in the guest house for the past several months, which has been a really good solution, but I'm not planning on staying there when it gets really cold. This banquette is a key piece of furniture since I'm going to give it a second function as a bed. This is where I'm going to live this winter. Okay, this is what we're working on. This is a study, library, the desk, and now I'm going to make this banquette seating. I initially thought I was going to extend it into the corner, but why extend the banquette seating when I have an entire living room for that? Here we go, banquette seating that will extend underneath the desk. I started doing the detail drawings for this. I bought all the materials to match this and I realized it was just overly engineered and decided to redo it, this drawing. I have a front elevation here, a side elevation, and a few more detailed sections that show how I'm actually going to construct it. So we have a banquette seating, and then the middle section, which I drew in red, is going to pull out to turn into a bed space. The idea is that I'll use the cushions for the seating and backrest for the mattress when it's pulled out. This is the 3D drawing I did a while ago showing the library, the desk and the banquette seating along the front wall. Yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing this. I'm starting with the framework. First are the two long pieces along the top of the unit. I'm noting down where the joints are going to be so I know where I need to notch out the different sections. I'm measuring along the length and marking those down. I use my circular saw to create a row of cuts and then I remove the waste. This framework won't be visible once the unit is done, so it doesn't need to be done to perfection. My saw is really big and heavy and I would love to have a smaller one which would be easy to handle for these sorts of purposes. It took me a long time to get comfortable with this tool, but I think I'm finally at a point where I don't try to avoid using it. I'm very quickly making a very tiny floor. So it seems that my stove might be coming today or maybe later on this week. I decided to have my dear chimney man install it. So I am finally getting a wood stove, and this is the first winter I'll be able to properly heat the house. You have no idea how excited I am about this. Initially, I was planning on installing the stove myself, get it delivered and figure it all out, but in the end I decided to get my chimney man to do it after all. Just getting a heavy stove in place and get all the right parts just seemed like a bit too much to figure out when I feel like I have so many other things going on. I also need to pass fire inspection so I can actually use it. So I got Chimney Man to get the stove I wanted and all the bits, and he seems to be on his way. I was going to redo this entire floor and take out the laminates, but everything happened quite fast in the end, so I decided to use the last of the tongue and groove I still have and just lay the small section underneath the stove. I think this allows for the clearances I need. I hope. I'm just putting it on top of the laminate that's already there. I am not sure if that's the right choice, but it's what's happening. So we have something exciting happening, and that is that's my stove, my little wood stove. Isn't she cute? Took me a while to decide which one to get. Also made a huge mess and it's not installed yet. So I was polishing this metal sheet with like this black stuff. Yeah, I smudged it, and then Chimney Man may or may not have stepped on it with his feet, with his shoes. I might have to sand this and stain it again, but that's okay. It makes me happy that I didn't do the rest of the floor yet. The pipe that I got was too short and too deep, so they've gone and they are coming back. Yeah, also we made a huge mess. This is bad. Bad. So I've notched out the two long framework sections, and next is to cut all the other pieces. After I've got all the lengths, I'm cutting all the joints by hand. I got this new Japanese saw which I've wanted to buy for a long time, and I finally got it. I love it. Sawing with this is so much more accurate than using the small foldable hand saw which I've been using for the past years. The framework is turning into a bit of a puzzle though, but it's kind of fun as well. Look at this. I have an actual fire going. It looks almost fake. I think it's just a one-time for now because we just turn it on after they install the pipe to make sure it works, just as a test. But it needs to be inspected first and approved. Then I can properly use it, but it's warm. It's an actual fire. It looks really cute. It looks really cute. I'm happy I got this one. I think it's a really cute fire for here. This is winter, I guess. I am realizing that that's the room that I usually work in, and there is a front door and a really flimsy door towards the attic. on the other side, which means that little room is really not insulated. So for the heat to go from this room to that space might get a bit tricky, but we'll figure it out. So oh, I can't wait to put the rest of the floor in here and take out all this crap. All of this crap, I mean. Look at this ridiculous room. Now it's got fire. First time in 2 years. So good. So good. Okay, I cut all the pieces and this is the day I put the framework together. I realized after filming that my microphone jack wasn't properly pushed in, so I have no audio. So I'll just tell you what happened. This is me showing off all my crazy pieces. It was like playing with Lego. This is me lamenting over my new Japanese saw. I'm just saying how I've wanted one for the past year and a half. But I've had this foldable saw that I've been using, and it's really difficult to buy something new when you already have something similar. But this Japanese saw is definitely worth it. I don't even know if I got a particularly good one, but the cuts are much more accurate and clean, and it was a really good investment. I'm starting today with the bottom of the framework. I'm using a small slat to space out the framework evenly, but this is going to make much more sense later on. Once I put this together, I turn it around and begin the framework in the far corner. You can see the joints really do fit like a puzzle. I think what I'm doing is a little bit unconventional. Really, the idea of creating these joints in furniture is so that you don't have to screw things in anymore, and instead you use these joints and glue to create a really clean and solid finish. But I'm making up my own joints and I don't think they work as well. So I'm still screwing everything together. But really for me, this framework won't be seen, and I'm mostly just doing this for practice. I want the unit to be really stable since I'll be sitting and sleeping on it, so I guess it's a little test for myself into slightly more advanced woodworking. The corner on the other end is even more of a puzzle. The unit overlaps with the door a little bit, so I'm putting in a curve, but it means the framework has a few extra elements. One of the reasons I started this channel is because I wanted to show people that we can all do a lot more than we often think we can. Anything unknown often seems impossible. Things like renovating a house are daunting and overwhelming if you have no experience, but pretty much everything I've done is a skill, and skills can all be learned. That's why I'm excited to introduce you to Skillshare, who is sponsoring this video. Thank you, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes to inspire you to take the next step in your creative journey. There are classes for everybody, from sewing to photography and writing. There are also career-focused classes aimed at productivity and entrepreneurship. Last year I bought some gouache paint. I have always drawn with pens and pencils, and paint has been a bit of a mystery to me. I had this idea of painting small vignettes with gouache of my house, but I wasn't quite sure where to start. With Skillshare, I found the perfect class to start learning. I am following Beyond Watercolor Learn to Paint with Gouache, which is taught by Leah Goran. It's teaching me a couple of techniques, and I'm learning that I definitely need to get used to a new medium and how to use a brush. I'm definitely a beginner, but it's getting me very excited to actually learn how to use it, and I'm already looking at a couple of other courses about gouache color mixing and doing botanical illustrations. So if you've been wanting to learn a new skill just like me, then have a look at Skillshare. The first 500 people that use my link will get access to one of Skillshare's best offers, which is 30 days free and 40% off your first year of Skillshare membership. Make sure to use my personal link that is in my description box to get this offer. And I will secretly be waiting for all of your gouache paintings of my house. I got myself a pile of wood. Don't know if it's enough. I got 6 cubic meters. So we'll see how far I get. Very nice woodman. Unfortunately very expensive. And he told me his prices don't go down during spring, which usually wood is more expensive just before winter, but his prices stay the same. And he said I might need another load of this, but we'll see. Because I have no idea. I think I'm going to stack this up like behind the guest house. I have this really big pallet which I think I'm going to put down and then stack on top of it or build something with that. I don't know yet. That's something else that needs to be done. Like all the mess in front of the house, which I like to ignore right now because I just want to build pretty things inside. So we're gonna do all of it. But it's exciting. I have words. I have an inspection next week. So yeah, and I have the axe. I need to start chopping my wood for next year. Look at this. This is very solid. Let me show you. I can lie on this, which is good because this is going to be my bed. Oh, okay. So, okay, this is very, very sturdy. I'm so excited. I have this little bit of wood here at the front bottom, just so that these sections are spaced out equally. All of these 4 are going to be drawers, and this is what is going to have the mattress, the seating on top, and then the end bits are going to have a tabletop That will have a little flap door at the front. This one is going to have a flap at the top, so they will also be storage, just not drawers. So I did realize after making this that I need to remake it. Well, these 5 pieces of timber need to be lower down because the slats for the bed frame, I'm going to have to take them out and then notch out these uprights so they can sit at a slightly lower level. But other than that, it looks really good. All right. So I think it's time to build a woodshed for my pile. I don't know how to build a woodshed. Let's try and figure it out. I also don't know how big it needs to be. Okay, I don't know. Let's have a look. I guess I'm starting with this giant pallet. I don't really have much leftover material for this shed, so it's going to be really basic. I'm getting some of the old chimney bricks to level out the base, and there you go. I think that's good enough. Okay, this pallet is a little bit wonky at the back, but I think that's okay. I reckon I'm going to need to build some sides, because if I just stack up the wood, it is gonna fall down. Let's find some old woods. Go! Well, this is a cute patchwork. I have no idea where to start doing this. Should I attach it to the house? Maybe not. Maybe? I'm coming to the conclusion that I have absolutely no idea how to build something basic quickly. This is not what I wanted to do. I want something really simple, not a real building. Let's do a quick sketch. I have a few bits of timber left from the greenhouse, and I can make a small frame with that. I don't know if it's big enough for the firewood, but it's a good start. I don't have a roof either, but I got a big tub recently and I'll use that to wrap around the framework. To be honest, I really didn't want to spend any time on this, but the framework does need to be solid, so I got my new saw out and tried to fit this frame the best I could. So I figured I would just, ruin this structure by putting a tarp on it. I mean, this is just a temporary solution to have a place for this wood this year. So, I don't have a roof, so I'm just gonna do this. Wow, that's ugly. Okay, I'm just gonna do this for now. I really dislike making ugly things. It bothers me so much. Yeah. Oh, why? Why so ugly? I was going to work on my banquette seating, but it's really cold inside. It's like 7 degrees inside the house, and yeah. So I figured maybe the best thing is to start this morning by transporting some wood. Gloves, here we go. Okay, I made a dent in a big pile. So I'm thinking maybe one day I'll build 2 wood sheds. And then whenever I get cold, I'll just move the wood from the one shed to the other sheds. And then I'll always be warm and I'll never have to buy new wood. I have to admit, I'm finding it really difficult to do things because I'm really cold. And I'm cold inside the house as well. So I think I'm gonna put up a curtain. The thing is, like, I took away the door in between this room and the kitchen, and I don't want to turn on the electrical heater because the heat will just disappear into the kitchen and evaporate. So I think I'm gonna put up a curtain in between these 2 rooms. It's not getting any warmer. I also don't have enough of these. It looks like I might be making a trip to the shops, but I got a whole bunch of these. I always have it. Yeah, oh, yeah, okay, that's sturdy. Cool. Cool. I am wearing a t-shirt, a fleece, a wool thing, another wool thing, and a jacket. I'm really cold. I spent that day standing outside and being quite cold, and in the evening I got out these curtains I got a while ago. I trimmed them to size and put them up and immediately realized they look quite awful. It's this warm gold brown color I thought would look really good with the other colors I have in the house, and while it does, it just looks very theatrical and the fabric is a little bit cheap. Oh, it looks like a theater. So it's not staying, and maybe I'll use the fabrics for something else at one point, but for now I was able to turn on my heater for the first time and wow, I was so happy. Now that the framework is finished, I'm going to make the pull-out section that makes the seating wider and turns it into a bed. I don't have enough timber slats to fit the ones that will be fixed to the banquette framework itself, but I do have just enough for the pull-out section. I'm noting how far they will be spaced out so I can fit them in the right positions. The craziest thing is that I have exactly the right amount of pieces for this pull-out section, even though I'm pretty sure I was 3 pieces short. I'm going to attach these slats to the other slats. Attach it all, and then this is the bit that's going to pull out. So just to make life a little bit more difficult for myself, I don't want to see screws on the top side of this. I mean, there is going to be a mattress on top, but I just want it to look clean if you were to take it away. So I'm going to fix it from the bottom. I already made pilot holes from the top, so I can put them in the right position. if I find the hole. Okay, that's a start. When the bed slats are done, I put felt furniture glides at the bottom so I can slide on top of the framework pieces I had lowered earlier on. So there are going to be slats in between these slats that are going to be fixed to the framework. And then this is a separate unit which will have little legs, and then you can push this forward. And then you have depth for a bed. Okay, this slidey part is going to receive some legs so it can actually stay in place. So what I'm going to do is, these are going to get little felt thingies underneath. This will be fixed to the front of this unit so you can grab it and pull it out. And then this will sit underneath like this. So I'm wondering how I should fit this all together. And I think instead of screwing things in from the back, I might use dowels and glue. Maybe just dowels for now, and then glue when I know that everything is in the right place. So these legs aren't really fitting the way they should. I should have made them after fitting this front. The dimensions are a bit off. Might have to redo them. Let me show you something though. So just imagine these are the slats that will be fixed to the framework. And they will be in between all of these. And then this pulls out with the legs to about here, which is the size of a mattress. And then I have a bed. So what's coming up? Let's figure out these legs. And then, well, I guess just make the rest of this. And once this is done, I can move back into this house. I need some more wood because these aren't working. And I don't have any more. So that's it, folks.